We're asked to factor this four-term polynomial by grouping. The word got cut off there. So what you do is you look at your first two terms and you look for the GCF. Then you look at your second two terms, you look for the GCF, and your hope is that once you factor it out from there and you factor something out from there, what's left sitting in parentheses is identical, because then that would be your common term and you could factor that out. Alright, so looking at the first two, our common factor, the GCF, actually the greatest common factor, would be 2. Okay, so I'll put 2 in front of the parentheses and I'll factor out a 2 from these two terms. That is to say, I will divide by 2 and divide by 2. Alright, so when I divide by 2, I'm left with y. For the first term, I simply have y, and that would be minus 8. Okay, now I turn my attention to the second two terms, and looking at these two, well, this term and this term, the greatest common factor is simply x. So I'm going to factor out an x from each of these terms. That's to say, I'm going to divide by x and divide by x. Okay? When I do that, I'm left with a y and minus 8. Okay? Notice what's in parentheses here is identical. That's our goal, because now I can factor out y minus 8 from this, and I can factor out y minus 8 from this. Okay? So just as I've been doing, in front I put y minus 8. That's what I'm going to factor out. When I factor it out from here, that really means I'm dividing by y minus 8. Alright? Y minus 8 goes into y minus 8 one time, so I'm simply left with a 2. Better get a place to write this. So again, when I divide that out, I'm left with a 2. And then over here, when I divide by y minus 8, that's how we say factor. We say factor it out, but we're really dividing it out. And we're left with a plus x. Okay? So we factored by grouping. Essentially what we did was we took four terms being added or subtracted and rewrote it in such a way that it's a binomial times a binomial. And this is the answer. You can check your answer. Okay? If I distribute each term here to each term here, I should be able to get right back where I started. Alright, so let's go ahead and check that. If I say y times 2, I get 2y. If I say y times x, I get plus xy. If I say negative 8 times 2, I get negative 16. And finally, if I say negative 8 times x, I get negative 8x. And let's see if that was up top here. 2y and 2y, negative 16, negative 16, positive xy, and negative 8x, negative 8x. So this showed that we have the correct solution right here.